Hi YouTube, it's Keisha. I have been gone forever and I know I owe you guys a huge explanation. I'm working on it, like a long drawn out video of where I've been, why I've been gone. I want to say hello and welcome to all of my new subscribers, all of you that have decided to keep me just hanging on just on the off chance that I create another video. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys. All of you that reach out to me, even though I haven't made a video, I thank you guys so much. You guys that keep track of me on MyFitnessPal, I appreciate that too. Thank you. What I wanted to talk about today, this evening, it's like 8:45 out here in Phoenix, and I'm just getting back from a musical. It's on Saturday after Thanksgiving. I have had some pretty traumatic things happen in like the last month and a half. And I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk about emotional eating and the battle with weight loss and our perception of food as individuals. Coming from, you guys know, I talk all the time about how my family are big eaters. We love eating, we love food. We everything is centered around food in my family. If you're sad, you're eating. If you're happy and excited, you're celebrating, but there's definitely food there. Y'all have to excuse my hair. I just took off my beanie and it's just a mess. Anyway, we're always eating in my family. So my natural reaction, what I've been trained to do since I was a very little girl, is find something to eat. It'll make you feel better, or it'll help you to express whatever kind of emotion that you're feeling. In my time of grief, loneliness, anxiety, separation, hurt, sadness, I leaned on eating. I grazed a lot. I didn't sit down and eat any prepared meals. I didn't take my time to boil my eggs to make sure I got my protein throughout the day. I didn't set aside my week worth of baked chicken breasts so that I can, cut those and portion those out for the whole week. I didn't do any of that. I grazed. I went for several hours and didn't eat a thing. I sipped on 24 ounces of water all day long. For about 3 days, I did this. And then I realized, hey, Keisha, your feelings are hurt. Your brother-in-law just passed. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to cry. It's okay to mourn. It's okay to be human. It's okay to feel. You don't have to hide it with food. You don't have to eat unhealthy because you're hurting. An absolute victory for me was breaking free of that mentality, being able to recognize that I was eating emotionally because my brother-in-law passed away. He was murdered. 22-year-old boy, murdered, just cut down even before his prime, taken away. But that would be a shock to anybody. If it was a friend, it would be shocking to you as my friend, a close friend or relative, of course. So for me, I knew my brother-in-law before I knew my husband. Me and my brother-in-law were tight before I even knew my husband. So it was a huge loss for me. At the same time, I didn't feel, excuse me while I vent for a moment, I didn't feel like I was allowed to, or that it was acceptable for me, I'll say, to grieve in public. By public, I mean at my mother-in-law's house. This was her baby boy, the youngest of the two that she had, murdered, taken from her. Of course she would be crying. This was my husband's only brother. Of course he would be sad. Of course he would be grieving. They had family fly in from their hometown in Ohio. And of course his grandmother's going to be hurt. Of course his aunties, they're all blood related. And I felt like as an in-law, it wasn't appropriate for me to cry in front of all of them. So instead I would heat up food and take a bite here and take a bite there. Or I'm not going to eat, I'll just have a roll. I would collect all the food or go and pick it up for somebody or bring it over or run to the store to make sure that there was food and beverages and all of that. I made myself busy doing other things. I contacted, the mortuary and helped to make the arrangements and was very much so active and involved in that aspect, making sure that the business, or rather the administration part of the situation, got handled. But I didn't feel like I was released to grieve openly with the family. I felt like I was kind of on the outer ring of the family. So it was my job to kind of support the inner ring and be there for them to cry on me, keep my tears to myself. Well, in all of this, I just kind of suppressed how I was feeling and tried to pacify or satiate myself with food. The victory in it, the good thing in it, the one thing that I'm taking from it, the biggest thing that I'm taking from this whole experience is that I recognized what I was doing, that I was hiding what I was feeling and filling that with food. Once I recognized that, I was able to snap out of it. I went back and I prepared my food before I left my house, took it with me. If I ran out of food because we were there too long, I found something that was edible for me, that fit in my diet plan, that fit in what I've adapted as a lifestyle change. I was able to eat boneless, skinless meat, very lean meat, unfried, baked or grilled meats. I stepped back away from the breads. I was able to really pay attention. I have never been able to do that before. Recognize that I was emotional eating, B, grazing at will, and C, not prepared. And then also be able to pull myself back from that. I'd never been able to do that in all my 30 years. Never. So this one time that I recognized that I was emotionally eating, grazing, and not being ill prepared, and was able to turn myself around, I give God praise, because I was like, oh, Father in heaven, you did it. Something in this thick head of mine finally broke. It made sense. That same week, I started losing again. I believe I lost 6 pounds that week. I was like, yes. I started walking. When it was time to make a phone call, or if somebody called me, I still handled the administration of the situation. Absolutely. But instead of sitting there and maybe biting on something or snacking or drinking a drink while I was talking to somebody, I started walking. I would walk around my mother-in-law's complex, walk, and by the end of the day, it was 40,000 steps in all these days. So I was like, yes, I wasn't working out like I had been before. And, it required a lot of time, but I was still able to get those steps in, and it was doing a lot of things. So I just wanted to share that with you all. Pray for, long for, aspire to have this awe-inspiring moment where you recognize that mentally things have changed. I am still waiting for the voice to quiet down when I'm pushing away my plate because there's still food on there. The saying, girl, you need to clean this plate. You better eat all this food. I don't care if it is only a cup and a half of food or a half a cup of food. You better eat this chicken. I'm waiting for that voice to shush. Now, I got her in check because I don't listen to her no more. I don't eat it. I push it away. But I'm waiting to not hear that voice anymore. Then I'll know that I've done something. I've made it. Until then, you guys remain a fixture in my prayers. I got Skiwi. I got your email. Why I didn't email you back? Because my phone broke. And then when I'm getting ready to email you, my computer flat out crashed. Can you believe it? I'm telling you, y'all, I've been walking through hell, but you know what? I'm walking through. I'm not stuck there. So I thank you all. I love you all. I pray that you are well and continue to be blessed. I'll talk to y'all real soon. I'll update y'all on my new goals and where I am and what I look like and all these fancy fun things. Bye.